Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Audi putting their F1 car out on track for the first time, as well as an update on the 2026 F1 engine controversy. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X and Instagram at James's Pit Lane. I'll leave links in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Audi, and as we know, they're a new entrant on the Formula 1 grid in 2026, with them taking over Sauber. Now yesterday it was reported that the team would get their car out on track early in Barcelona as part of a filming day. Basically, each team is allowed 2 filming days with current spec machinery each season, with Audi permitted to carry out 200 kilometers of running around the Spanish Grand Prix venue, which equates to 42 laps. And well, today footage has emerged of Audi getting their Formula 1 car out on track around Barcelona. Now, given this was private running, as you'd expect, there's not much you can take from the footage. It was taken from far away, and while you can see the Audi car going round the circuit, as I say, it's from quite a distance, so not much to see. However, following an analysis, motorsport.com say that the most notable aspect of Audi's new car is in its pushrod front suspension package. Sauber had gravitated to a pull rod front suspension design in 24, following the lead set by McLaren and Red Bull under the arrival of the previous ground effect regulation set. The inclination of the track rod starts from the top surface of the chassis bulkhead, connecting to the lower part of the wheel upright. And motorsport.com also say the side pods are also interesting. Across 22 to 25, the side pod solutions seen in the early years of the Formula soon converged towards Red Bull's downwash solution, but Audi's car appears to show an inwashing solution. This takes the flow around the side pods to maximise the effectiveness of the Coke bottle section around the rear bodywork. As long as the airflow stays attached to the car, this can pull air through the central section rather than expose the wake to the rear tyres. And while there may be not a lot to take from this private running, some new details have emerged, with a report coming out saying Audi have reportedly completed the first lap with their 2026 car without any problems. All basic systems and checks went as planned. Audi will continue with their 200km film day in the following hours. But let's move on to the engine controversy. Now, this came out in December 2025, and it's to do with the compression ratio. Basically, while some manufacturers interpreted a limit of 16.1 in the regulations as the maximum they could run at, it was suggested that Mercedes and Red Bull, to a lesser extent, had worked on designs that comply with the 16.1 limit when engines are measured at ambient temperatures, but exceed it when they're hot. Basically, the race said through the use of clever concepts which potentially involve thermal expansion, they've managed to increase their compression ratio when the engine is running on track, delivering benefits in terms of both performance and fuel economy. One high-level source reckoned the theoretical gains, if exploited to the maximum, could be worth up to 10 kilowatts, which is the equivalent of 13 horsepower. It has been estimated that this could equate to around 3 to 4 tenths per lap, depending on how power sensitive a track is. So yeah, that could be a huge advantage to start the 2026 season. And while it also emerged over the winter that rivals had written a letter to the FIA, with the race also reporting before Christmas that Ferrari, Audi and Honda had written a joint letter to the FIA seeking answers over the situation, as their viewpoint is that any engine that runs with a higher compression ratio than 16.1 could be illegal. This is based on Article C1.5 of F1's technical regulations, which states that F1 cars must comply with the rules at all times during a competition. And now the race say that in response to the letter from Ferrari, Audi and Honda, it has emerged that the FIA has now called all manufacturers to a meeting on January 22nd to discuss the next step. Now this is just 4 days before pre-season testing gets underway in Barcelona at the end of January. And it's been reported that this get-together will include senior management from each of the competitors, as well as technical experts. And in a statement, an FIA spokesperson told the race, as is customary with the introduction of new regulations, discussions of the 2026 iteration covering power unit and chassis are ongoing. The meeting planned for 22nd January is between technical experts. As always, the FIA assesses the situation in order to make sure the regulations are understood and applied in the same manner between all the participants. Now, engine designs have been locked in for a long time now, so any changes to them is going to be very, very difficult. And the race say that while the change to the FIA's current interpretation is thought highly unlikely before the start of the season, it's understood that Mercedes rivals are pushing for movement further down the road to make sure everyone is operating to the same interpretation. But what do you think will happen? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.